Hey guys, Jen here from Diary of a Dreamer, and today I wanted to do a process video with you for days 13 through 15. Alright, let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut apart these two sheets of paper. The one on the right is the one that I want, so I just printed out a pattern for the one on the left for future use. And it is 4 inches wide by 8 inches tall. It's going to go on the back of one of those giant shipping tags that Allie had in her kit this year. And it is my holiday playlist. I just created it real quick in Photoshop, used a digital stamp from Allie. I don't know exactly what kit it came from. And I just wrote out 5 songs that my husband and I are loving from this holiday season. And yeah, so here I'm just using my tape runner to adhere the piece of paper to the tag, and then I'm going to trim it down. The only thing I didn't plan for properly was where I was going to put the holes, because when you actually see it, the number 2 is completely obliterated. So, but that's okay. Just trimming off the top real quick. I gotta trim off the side a little bit. Gonna punch the hole at the top, and then I'm gonna punch the holes on the side. I could have just used my 6-hole punch, but after the day I was having, I just decided to hand punch them all so I can make sure that they're actually punched in the right place. And what I'm doing now is making the hole at the top bigger to match the hole on the top of the tag itself. That was just a little white tray that I got from Michael's that I use for small trash on my desk, so that way it's not cluttered up. I say that and the whole right side of my desk is a mess. Sorry, guys. But yeah. I was looking through to see if I had used this ribbon before. The ribbon came in the Felicity Jane Joy kit. And I'm just going to use my Tim Holtz tiny attacher real quick. And to continue on, if you watch my last video, you'll know that these are filmed on the same day. And I was having a heck of a day trying to craft, you guys. And this was no different. My tiny attacher decided it didn't want to cooperate. So I'm just going to try to fix that real quick. The staples had like broken apart into 2 separate chunks. And then every time I tried to push them up together, one of them would push into the other one and it would angle weird and it wouldn't work. So I just had to eventually just you see me take that piece out. And then it works just fine. So I'm really liking having things out of the pockets this year. I'm not entirely sure why, but I do. And it's fun. So I just had a sticky note on the front of this Fa La La tag to remind myself what I wanted to use it for. These are wood veneer numbers that are also from the Felicity Jane Joy kit. I think you can still purchase them separately, and if so, I will link them in the description box below. But I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with it yet. I know I want to use this 13, at least I think I want to use this 13. So I don't know what I want to do. So it's just really going to sit there for a little while. I'm going to move it aside, and I'm just going to move on to the next one. Not entirely sure what I was looking for. And I'm sorry that it appears my camera is a little crooked. What am I digging for? So set that aside and move on. Move on to day 14. So I'm going to make my own journaling card out of just some cardstock that was on my desk. It's going to cut it down to 4x6. And of course, I just realized as I'm doing this voiceover, I never put a number on here. Never put a date or anything, so I gotta date stamp this so that way I know that it's for day 14. Alright, I had to go pull out my alpha set. These are from Hero Arts. I want to say I picked them up at Michael's. And they have both an outline and a completely filled in letter. And I'm going to use my Mini Misty to stamp out The Wiz. My nephew Riley is in 4th grade, and his school put on a rendition of The Wiz. It was actually really impressive for it being an elementary school. These kids are really good. The people they picked to do the singing and the acting did really well. I know that at that age I could not have done what these kids did, so I was very, very impressed. So I'm just going to stamp out The Wiz. I'm going to use the outlines first in black. I gotta make sure that they're straight first, though. Sorry, my head's in the video. Stamp it in my Versamark black ink, which is always on my desk. Use my stamp shaming real quick because I got it all over the front of it and I didn't want to get that on the card. So yeah, I'm stamping upside down. It's okay. Thing I love about using the Mini Misty is I can stamp again if I need to, which I did, and it's in the exact same place. So I'm just going to put away my Versamark real quick, or my VersaFine, excuse me. I'm going to clean off my stamps with my stamp chamois. Who doesn't love a stamp chamois? And I'm going to apparently not put the letters back. Not sure. I know I need some of the letters for the next day, for day 15, but I'm not sure why I didn't put them back now. Okay, there we go. I was like, that was really weird for me. So I'm going to use some Ali Edwards ink. I'm not quite sure what the color for this is, but I will put it in the description box below. I'm going to try to do something I saw Kelly Perky do once, a while back, and stamp the inside a different color, but I didn't like the way it turned out. So I don't know if I don't have the right shade of blue or what it was, but it just wasn't working the way I wanted it to. So I'm just going to grab a Copic marker real quick and just color in the rest of the letters. If I can find it, I will link this alpha set below as well. I really like it. So then I'm just going to pull out a Recollections journaling pen with like a medium-sized nib, if I can find it. And I'm just going to do my journaling on that. Actually, I'm sorry, it was like a thinner nib than the one I thought I was going to use. Oh, nope. First, though, I'm going to put some music-themed washi tape because it's a musical. So I'm going to put that at the bottom to kind of dress it up a little bit. I'm still figuring out how best I want to decorate my own cards, so it's always a learning experience. I've got a Christmas box, a small Christmas box from Michael's that's full of Christmas-themed washi tape, so it's all together. Easy to find. Now I'm going to do my journaling. And basically it's just saying that my nephew Riley he played in his elementary school's version of The Wiz. He was in the chorus and only came out twice, but his mother and I were so proud of him because he actually participated. I actually have a video of him at the end dancing along with everyone else. For Riley, that's a big thing. So Riley, my nephew, is on the spectrum. He is high functioning, but it still comes through sometimes. I say it that way because sometimes if you meet him, you wouldn't know that he is slightly autistic. He functions really, really well. So but it shows through in his interacting with other people and participating in things like this, which is why his mother and I were so proud of him, that he actually participated, that he was dancing, that he was singing and doing all of the stuff. So we were really, really proud of him for that. So I've actually never seen The Wiz before at all, and I need to. I really need to actually see it because the elementary school did a fantastic job. So I'd actually like to see the real thing. So right here, I'm just going to pull out an old story kit. This is the Brave story kit from Ellie Edwards. I'm just going to pull that out real quick because I know that I wanted to use a piece of a chipboard sticker for it. And the one I ended up using, says it's a page flag type thing, and it says, "You are brave." So I'm gonna punch that out real quick and just stick it partially on top of the washi. And it's gonna end at, or no, that's right. I looked at that one first, and then looked at "You are brave" and decided I like "You are brave" better. The washi tape just goes through kind of like the center of it. Couldn't find that trash bucket I have. It's on the desk behind me. And then I'm just going to use a thicker pen, and I'm going to underline my journaling. I like that the lines are imperfect. Just like, you know, Allie says she likes it, they're not necessarily straight, so it just gives it character. And then I am going to put it in the album. Because I know that I have to have the journaling, I've pulled out journaling for day 15, so I had to put this on the bottom because the pull out journaling is actually going to go on the top. And I still need to put a number on there for day 14. Probably just roller date stamp it. Alright, so the struggles continue on day 15 because I put adhesive on the wrong side. And I'm like, well, alright. So I put adhesive on the right side, get it unstuck from the desk, and I put it on the bottom of this photo. So this photo, day 15, was the launch party of the media group that I work with. And that picture right there is of my husband, who sets his cymbals on fire. Every show he plays in, for those of you who don't know, he is a drummer. Every show he plays in, he likes to set his cymbals on fire. And I actually caught a decent picture on camera. Right here, I'm just using a gum eraser to get the adhesive, the tape runner adhesive, off the front of the number 15. It's going in the pocket, so it's not that big of a deal, but I wanted to remove as much of it as I could. And the gum eraser did a good job. It pulled a tiny bit of the cork up, but not a whole lot. So if you're careful and you're gentle, you can get the adhesive off without ruining your cork numbers. So I was looking for, I wanted to use another heart. I was looking to see if I had a chipboard heart, but I don't. All I have is this little wooden heart. So I'm just going to stick it on the front of the one and call that picture good. Next thing I'm going to do is, what am I going to do? I think I'm going to create another journaling card. Yep. So I had this card, this A5 size card, or A2 size card, excuse me, and for some reason I had this huge stain on it. So I just decided to trim it up and use part of it as a journaling card so that way the whole card didn't go to waste. Because I'm definitely not going to use that card in my card making if it's got that big of a gross stain on it. I don't even know what the stain is. So I pulled out another alpha set that I thought I was going to use, but I ended up going back to this one. And I'm pulling out some orange Dewdrop Memento ink. And I'm going to use the colors of our group to spell out the word launch party. To start with, I started with the completely filled in letters. And then later on, off camera, I will do the outline. I picked up this longer block at Hobby Lobby as a single block, just to make it easier for these longer words. Gonna make sure everything is nice and straight before I stamp it down. I like the vibrant colors of these Dewdrop inks. This is only the second time I've used them before. The first time was in my my last video. And I like how the colors are. Now I'm going to spell out party because so I used orange for launch, and I'm going to use kind of a golden yellow for party because again, those are the colors. that we use in the media group that I work with. So we work with bands and individual local musicians to help get them shows, to help do social media work, all that kind of stuff. And we officially launched on the 15th. We opened our doors to any and all musicians that would like to use our services, and in celebration we hosted a show at our local venue. My husband's band played, one of the bands that we manage played, and a couple other bands, and it was a lot of fun. So real quick, I just used a roller date stamp. And now I am going to do some journaling again, just about the launch party. I don't even remember what I said. Alright, I said today is the day. Today we announced the launch of Angel Phoenix Media Group, a one-stop shop for bands for social media, public relations, and management. This has been 10 years in the making for Tiffany, and just months for the rest of us. We have a killer lineup of bands, and no matter what happens, the show will go on. Super proud to be part of this. Can't wait to see what happens in the future. Some really quick journaling. I think I might go back later and actually add some more of my feelings about what happened during the show, because the show was not without issues, but you know, that's normal. So just want to annotate some of that, or otherwise I'll put it in Project Life. I don't know. So this one was a really quick spread, really quick video, altogether, including the pictures and stuff at the end. It's only about 20 minutes long. So woohoo! I'm not going to do anything else to the spread other than put it in the album. And then I'm going to go back to day 13. Oh wait, I am going to put one of those Ali Edwards tan tabs on the top. I picked the one that said Joy. You've seen these. I've used these day 4. I've used them a couple times throughout the album. Put that on the top because it's going behind the picture of my husband playing his drums. And that way I know that I can pull up there for a story. And that one is good. So like I said, we're going to go back to the number 13. I wanted to use some black numbers, but I didn't want to use the big black ones that I just used on day 10 because I want to vary things. So I went to pull out my embossing powder, and I remember somebody saying that if you want the best results for having black embossed numbers was actually to stamp in a black ink and then use clear embossing powder. So that's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm covering that 13 with some VersaFine ink after using my embossing buddy. And then I am going to sprinkle clear embossing powder on it and do my best not to make a mess, because that black ink is sticky and it gets everywhere. And then I had trouble digging it out. And so the other day, my house, we lost power. And so when we lost power, I unplugged a bunch of stuff, so that way when we got power back, there was no issues with my stuff. There was nothing about the surge of power that came back or any of that. So one of the things that I unplugged was the surge bar that my heat gun tool is plugged into, and so I had to plug it back in for a second. Then I went and I got my tweezers because these numbers got really, really hot. My favorite part of using embossing powder is always watching it melt because the color change is cool. So now, real quick, I'm going to make a mess on my desk because I smeared some black ink, but that's okay. And I'm just going to adhere this 13. I'm going to take a cloth and kind of stamp it off real quick to make sure I got it all. Then we'll put the tag in the album, and we're going to call it good. So now you're going to have some pictures of how the spread looks. You want more information, make sure you check out my blog post or the description box below. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, alright guys, till next time, bye.